1 p.m. here in Washington, 2 a.m. Tuesday in Manila in the Philippines, 12 a.m. in Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh. Wherever you're watching from around the world, thanks very much for joining us. Whiplash. Russia interfered in America's election, but President Trump praising Vladimir Putin and attacking his own intelligence agencies. Now those former intel chiefs say the president's being played. On the defense, Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore defiant as sexual allegations swirl now, as more Republicans say he should drop out. New signs that he still has some strong support in his home state. Plus this.
My sons and daughters were shot on Thursday. I can't find them, he says. There's no one left.
It's being called ethnic cleansing. CNN sees firsthand the horrors of a massacre unfolding before the world's eyes as hundreds of thousands of people run for their lives in Myanmar. Up first, President Trump brags about his red carpet receptions during his Asia trip, but he's under lots of fire for downplaying Russian meddling in the U.S. presidential election and human rights abuses in the Philippines. The White House says the president briefly brought up human rights during his meeting with President Rodrigo Duterte, but a spokesman for the Philippine leader says the issue never came up. President Trump also sent mixed messages about Russian election meddling in the 2016 election and Vladimir Putin's denials. He told reporters aboard Air Force One, and I'm quoting President Trump now, he said he didn't meddle. He said he didn't meddle. I asked him again. You can only ask so many times. Our White House correspondent Sarah Murray is traveling with the president in Manila right now. Sarah, at one point, the president appeared to take Putin's word over the word of the U.S. intelligence community. So what is he saying now?
Well, Wolf, the president later tried to clarify his remarks, saying he does side with U.S. intelligence agencies and not necessarily Vladimir Putin's assessment of Russian meddling. But the president also went out of his way to say he agrees with U.S. intelligence under its current leadership, meaning the leadership that he handpicked to lead these intel agencies. But it's worth noting that this raw intelligence hasn't changed, Wolf. It was all of these agencies that agreed together at the end of the 2016 presidential campaign that Russia tried to meddle. Obviously, that was under the leadership that was selected by Barack Obama. And when Trump put his own people in, they testified on Capitol Hill that they agreed with those conclusions.
You know, Sarah, the president also at the same point getting some criticism for lavishing lots of praise on the Philippine President Duterte. Critics point out, though, there's been a bloody war on drugs, including thousands of killings outside the bounds of normal Philippine court proceedings. Do we know whether President Trump raised this issue specifically? There's some dispute right now.
That's right, Wolf. And look, the President Trump has made it clear that his top issues in many of these bilateral meetings are trade as well as national security. He has hardly been a champion for human rights on the world stage on any of his trips or in his meetings with any strongmen so far. And that certainly seems to be the case in his meeting with Duterte as well. The thing that's a little bit bizarre about this is neither side can even agree as to whether the issue came up. Duterte's side insists the issue of human rights was never broached, but the White House says they did discuss it, albeit briefly. Suffice to say, this is going to be a disappointment, though, to human rights groups. And already the president is catching some flack from members of his own party, including Senator John McCain, disappointed that he didn't press Duterte harder on some of his tactics in this drug war here.
Sarah Murray traveling with the president of Manila for us. Sarah, thanks very much. While he's been